Hi, Soul Tribe family. How are you? Welcome to Saturday Night Live with Lady D. It is current events and viral news night, as is every Saturday night. And the Democrats are done. Put a fork in them. They're done. They just don't want to. They don't want to admit it, but they're done. They're so done. And we are watching a movie. That's why in the scroller below we have popcorn and a movie reel, or not a movie reel, a scene with like action, whatever you call it, those things where you scene cut, action, one of those things. I don't know what the hell they're called. What the hell are they called? I don't know. I'm not in the movies. Hi to everyone in the chat. Hi to everyone in the chat. And to all those who'll be watching in the replay. It's good to see Tammy C's on Troll Patrol. Thank you for being here, Tammy C. She is on Troll Patrol. Hello, everyone in the chat. Hi, Soul Mama. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. How's everyone doing with the time change? It's crazy. It's 8 o'clock and it feels like it's 11. You know how it is, right? It's just like, oh, I hate this time of year. I hate this time of year. It gets dark at 4:30. Everyone's still sleeping crazy? Are you like me and you can only get like maybe 2 or 3 hours and then you're tossing and turning or getting up or you're restless? Isn't it so much fun ascending? It's so much fun. It's so much fun on your body and your mind and your emotions. It's just so much fun. But hey, what a time to be alive. Not complaining, not complaining. Well, at least we're here, we're awake, and we are ascending. So what a time to be alive. All right, folks, we have a few announcements and then we'll get to the show. First, I want to say I am doing a year-end forecast reading via email, and there's only 20 of them, and there's only 10 left now. Oops. Okay, that's the wrong one. But anyways, that's the name of the show we're doing tonight. Folks, the Dems are done. This is the show we're doing tonight. That is the thumbnail. However, I wanted to do, let's see, we move that one and we'll put that one. That's the one we wanted. Okay, so I did this yesterday. I started this yesterday and there were only 20 slots available. Now there's only 10 left. So this is a year-end forecast reading via email. I did these last Friday night during my psychic live and I sold out and I had to turn down people. So I decided to do these via email. However, they're a little time consuming. So I only have 20 slots. I started doing them last night. I started advertising them last night during my live last night, and there's only 10 left. Okay, they're not on my website. If you're interested in getting these, it's done via email. In the description of this show, there is a link. You'll see a link that says year-end forecast reading via email by Lady D. You have to use the link below in the description of the show. These are not available on my website. There's only 10 left. Once I'm done, I'm done. Once I'm sold out, I'm sold out. Okay? So if you're interested in that, they'll be up until I'm done, until they're sold out. And there's already half, I sold out half overnight. So if you want to get them in, get it in now. All right. And like I said, they're not on my website. They're in the description of the show underneath. They're only available on my Buy Me a Coffee. And underneath the description of all my shows, you'll see my website, how to get in touch with me, my Sorona link, which is, the skin formula that I use, my X account, my Instagram account, everything that you need to get in touch with me is in the description of this show. All right. And yes, folks, it is the Dems are dumb. They're dumb. Yeah, they're dumb and they're done. That was a Freudian slip, but how apropos. We have Jasmine Crockett shit. James Comey, who he's so dumb. They found a handwritten note on the Department of Justice letterhead or something like that. It was on his department letterhead. We have the BBC getting caught red-handed, lying and splicing and doctoring a video to make it look like about the January 6th that day, making it look like he was making them go and protest and trying to get them all riled up to go and protest. And we have the heads of BBC resigning in shame, in disgrace. We have Chuck Schumer, where he is the Schumer showdown, the Schumer shutdown. He lost. All right, the Dems got absolutely nothing that they wanted in that shutdown, and everyone blamed it on Schumer, even his own party. And we have Nancy Pelosi stepping down because she's about to get indicted for January 6th and what she's done. And there's all kinds of evidence coming out with the pipe bomber, which was a CIA operative. Unbelievable, folks. It is November 15th, 2025, and welcome. And people are still coming in the chat. They just want to welcome people in, because you know how boob tube, scroob tube can be. You know how they can be. They can be pains in the asses and not really give my notifications and stuff like that. You know how it is. You know how it is. So, folks, before we get into the nitty gritty tonight, I just want to remind you a few things. Yes, we're going to talk about the clown circus, this clown circus that is politics, mostly in the United States, because I live in the United States. I live in Massachusetts, for all of you people that are in the back or don't know. But no matter what, we are watching a movie. Now, we are watching a movie in which people are very, very suffering. And just because we're watching a real live action movie in which real live people are acting in it, and most of them don't even know they're acting in it. Some do, some don't. There are still people that are suffering. But if you ever want to doubt that you're watching a movie, you shouldn't. And I'm going to show you Exhibit A. Now, last week, Zohran Mamdani, not a big surprise. Everyone expected that he was going to become the mayor-elect of New York City, the 111th, okay? Folks, look at this. Is his IMDb page. There was an IMDb page for Arthur Roberts, who played Biden, and it says it right there. And I'll get to it if you haven't seen it before. But let's just focus on Mamdani, okay? Why would somebody who's in politics have an IMDb page? Could it be that he's an actor playing a part? Central casting, folks? What do you think? What do you think, folks? We understand that we're watching a movie. Most of this stuff is planned. These are either captured events or planned events. And what better way to get rid of the Zionist takeover of NYZ, okay? Because we know that there's the good Jewish people, and then there's the Zionists, the fake Jewish people that are not good. What better way to get rid of the Zionist / bad Jewish people in NYC, but to bring in somebody, okay, that's working for central casting, that you would think is working against the white hats, but is working with the white hats to play the bad guy, to get rid of all the nasty Zionist the bad Jewish people in NYC and clear them out. What do you think? Do you think that that's a possibility? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think that that is Zohar. So I can't even pronounce his first name. Zohran. Okay, Zohran Mamdani. Give me a 1 in the chat if you think that Zohran Mamdani is, well, we know he's an actor now, okay? It's here is the proof. Here's the living proof. IMDb page, okay? Zohran Kwame Mamdani is the 111th mayor-elect of New York City. He was one time an assemblyman representing the 36th Assembly District and its neighborhood of Astoria, Ditmars, Steinway, and Astoria Heights. He has fought for the working class in and outside the legislature, hunger striking along taxi drivers to achieve more than $450 million in debt relief, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else. His resume. Let's see. Family, parents. I think it did, and didn't it say that? Yeah, he wasn't born in the U.S. Yeah, he was born in Kampala, Uganda. I didn't know you could hold. I didn't know you could hold public office. Yeah, I see a lot of ones in the chat. Yeah, so folks, we all knew. Look at all those ones in the chat. Yeah, so we all knew that Mamdani. He's very much like Obama, came out of nowhere, got that deep state funding from like Soros and all that. So, folks, we're looking at somebody that, look at, he has an IMDb page. This is an actor. All right, he won a few awards. Let's see, he's known for a couple of, he made a few videos. This guy's an actor. Okay, so the reason why I say this is because we can't get all worked up in events that we know are movies or narratives that are being played out to wake up the masses, okay? What's going on, these big events, what's going on is that they're not for us. They're to clean out the rest of the deep state swamp, and they're to wake up the masses. So, you know what? Let's do that as the first reading. Let's confirm. I see a lot of ones in the chat. A lot of ones in the chat that think that he's that Mamdani. Now that we know he's an actor, okay? He has an IMDb page, okay? If he was just a politician, he wouldn't need one. Just like Arthur Roberts has an IMDb page, and it says that he played President Biden, okay? I mean, what more do you need? So let's have the first reading of the night. Let's confirm it. Is Zohran Mamdani, is he, we already established he's an actor, but is he working for the White Hats to clean out the rest of the Zionist deep state Jewish people, the bad Jewish people, the Zionists in New York, get rid of them? And it's like, it makes it so what is happening is that everyone can blame it on him, and they can say that he is an anti-Semite. He'll clean out everything from New York City, and then the Republicans can blame it on him, and then they can get rid of Mamdani and take out all the Muslim and Islamic takeover, and then it's like he kind of does a little bit of everything. Okay? He's a double, he's more than, let's say he's a double tricked pony. He's not a one trick pony. He's a two trick pony. I hate to say that he kills two birds with one stone, because I hate that saying, but he does more than one thing. All right. So let's ask, folks. Let's ask about this Mamdani. Let's see what the dealio is with him. Okay, let's ask. Here we go. If you have not already, please hit the like button and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. It helps with the algorithm. Here we go. Holy God, in the name of Yeshua, is Zohran Mamdani, is he working for the White Hat secretly to take down the deep state Zionists in New York City and to expose the Islamic takeover in the Muslim communities, and also to wake up the masses? the actor who's playing Zohran Mamdani, is he secretly working for the White Hats and for the good? Yes or no? There's the yes or no question. And anything else that will bring clarity and understanding to this question. What say you, Holy Spirit of God and Yeshua the Christ? All right. All right. So I'm getting in the recent past, the recent past that he wasn't originally working for the White Hats. All right. I feel like he was a deep state actor and he was captured. All right. So in order for him to, let's say, save face, in order to him to get a better deal, in order to save his hide, because he lost a lot. All right. All right. So he was captured. All right. He was captured a long time ago by the White Hats. And he was told, in order, if you want to save your life, you are going to take a step behind and you're going to work for us. Okay. So he's been secretly working for the White Hats. Absolutely. Okay. This was to save his life. And they gave him the option and he took the option very quickly. It's like, you either do this and to save your life. So yes, he is working with the White Hat Alliance. Okay. Now, in the near future, okay, he's going to come out very, very strong against Trump. He's already started that. However, it's going to be even more so. It's all going to be about Trump, and taming the lying, and that Trump's the bad guy, okay? And he's going to completely do a reversal of everything that he already planned to do in New York City. And what's going to happen is that he's not going to last long. Okay. He feels like he's going to completely level up New York City. What this is exactly what I just said. This is a takedown of all the bad elements in New York City. But instead of doing it overtly, instead of going in and starting like this world war or this civil war, what's happening is that they're doing it secret, quietly behind the scenes. And they're using him as the front man to kind of balance it out and to do it in a way so there's peace and harmony while they take out the bad elements. But they're not doing it in an aggressive way. They're doing it in a kind of, let's say in a way that is a win-win for everybody. Okay, it exposes the Islamic Brotherhood and what Obama started a long time ago when he had all these people, all the Islamic people move in to Chicago and other elements in Minnesota, and what's going on in those border states. All right, where there's the Islamic takeover. So what's happening now is that they're doing it behind the scenes. Okay, but what they're doing is that they need to get rid of the deep state element that has a hold on New York. And the last of the last is the Zionist Jewish people. These aren't the good Jewish people. These are the Zionists, the fake ones, the ones that go against humanity, the deep state, evil ones. Okay. However, Mamdani is not going to last long because he's really working for the Alliance, and he's not meant to last long. He's there okay, the death card is all about change, ending one phase of life and beginning anew. So this is all about a big, big change, an ending and a beginning, a big change coming to NYC, New York City. Okay, now we asked this question and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. So this is a huge, huge answer, and this is a high impact, big event. This is a big event, and this is a heavy hitting reading. I haven't even gotten to the end of it. I pulled more. We got the Chariot card, okay? And we also got the Tower card, okay? So his reign in NYC is not going to it's not going to last. I predicted on this show last week that Governor Kathy Hochul was going to stab him in the back and work against him. And folks, she already started to work against him. She already said there's no way that they're going to be able to fund the free buses and the free subways. There's other things that she's turned her back on him. She's already stabbing him in the back. All right. So it's already starting. Okay. More and more things are going to come out about him, and people aggressively are going to come out against him because he came out very aggressive. Okay. His reign is not going to last. We got the Tower card. This is him as the New York City mayor. Okay. We got the Death card and the Tower card. We also got 2 5s. 5s are, this is conflict, walking away, loss of faith, loss of money, loss of funding, loss of trust. And we have conflict, struggle, strife. 5s are also transient. 5s are, they're not staying. 5s are, they're not steady. 5 is very quickly moving. It's not lasting forever. 5s are in and out. Okay. So it looks like the reign of Mamdani in New York City is going to be over very, very quick. He's not going to stay. All right, folks, we asked, okay? We asked if Mamdani was secretly, now that we established we saw earlier that he has an IMDb page for actors and actresses, okay? He has one. We asked, is he an actor? We already know he's an actor. We established that. Is he working secretly for the White Hat Alliance to expose and to take down the Zionist element in NYC so they can use him as an excuse, have him do it so people won't call Trump's government anti-Semitic, because if you go against any of the Zionist Jews, they label you anti-Semitic. Just if you go against any, like the Muslims, they'll call you Islamophobic. That's what happens. It's like if you go against anyone now and you call them out on their bad, evil doings or their characters, you're labeled a racist, Islamophobe. You know how it is, Islamophobe. It's just disgusting. Okay, so the thing is that we got the World card. Okay, so the World card is about him actually leveling up NYC. We got that he is here. He's definitely there to expose and to get rid of things. But they're doing it instead of an aggressive way, instead of in your face way. They're doing it behind the scenes in a more delicate and gentle way. Kind of like Taming the Lion, doing it in a non-aggressive way. All right. This is a more balanced, and this will bring on the front more harmony and balance to NYC while they get rid of the deep state element. All right. That's going on behind the scenes. Okay. This also is indicative. We also established that Mamdani was a deep state actor at first, and he was captured. He was caught. They rounded him up and they said, if you want to stay alive, all right, and you don't want to be whatever, you want to be caught, you don't want to you don't want the death or whatever, they made a deal. He made a deal with them. All right. And the deal was that he would play this part. He was going to play this part, and they knew he was going to cheat, and they allowed him to cheat, but he's not going to stay in New York City that long. Okay. He's not going to stay very long because we got the Death card and we got the Tower card. However, he is there to bring about big, big change. They want to go from dark to light. They want to go in, the White Hat Alliance want to go in, and they want to level up NYC, and they want to get rid of the deep state element, and they also want to wake people up and to do a big exposure on the Islamic Brotherhood. All right. So that's the deal with NYC and Mamdani, folks. No surprise there. No surprise there. All right, now let's get to my X account. And what I do is I go through my X account and then I bookmark things that I think that we should read and you would want to read about. All right. So here we go. Let's see. All right, we want to stop sharing that, and now we want to get to the X account. All right, here we go. This is, we're not going to read, I'm not going to do a tarot reading on everything that we're going through tonight on my X. However, I'll do tarot readings as I see fit of some of the different topics. However, we are going to go through some things that we're not going to do readings on. And this is about Maha and what they're doing to poor Robert Kennedy Jr. This is from Benny Johnson on X. Breaking. Whistleblowers inside HHS and CDC have just sent me critical information on an active sabotage operation taking place within the federal health departments. Left-wing career bureaucrats are in total panic over RFK Jr. shutting down their big pharma grift and are trying to take down the agencies from the inside. No doubt and no surprise there. And they're using the CIA to do it. Here's how it's happening. Career CDC bureaucrats are distributing a CIA manual entitled Simple Sabotage, in quotes, to their subordinates. I have multiple whistleblowers with firsthand direct evidence of this. The CDC ranks are now acting out this CIA strategy to the letter. The walkouts, corporate media hits, fake protests, and Senate hearings. It's all staged to systematically sabotage Trump's health agenda. It's all staged to systematically sabotage Trump's health agenda. Here's what happens next and why we must fight for RFK Jr. And here's a whole thread, and you can find this on Benny Johnson. This is awful what they're doing to RFK Jr. and Maha. It's awful. Okay, it's ridiculous. They bring him over the coals. You know what happened with the Tylenol? They came out with information that Tylenol was bad for pregnant women. It could cause miscarriages. And so what women do? Pregnant women go and they overdose on Tylenol, and then they go into comas and they're in the ER. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the TDS. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, and here's Betty Johnson. The manuals instructs employees to purposely slow operations by demanding written orders and pretending not to understand while carrying out acts that spread blame across as many people as possible. This is our government, folks. You would think that they want what's best, but nope, they don't want the gravy train to end. All right. They're getting all kinds of money lining their pockets from the pharmaceutical companies. It's absolutely atrocious and absolutely disgusting. He is exposing them for what they are, the ultimate drug cartel. This is another reason why they're pissed off at him, because a lot of fake news media, they get their funding from pharmaceutical commercials, and they're ending that. Here's RFK Jr. I am thrilled to announce that we're ending pharmaceutical ads in television. America is corrupted by big pharma. For years, they've pushed drugs like candy, silenced critics, lobbied the Congress and the White House, and cashed in on manufactured fear. Big pharma, through drug advertisements, are also a huge source of income for mainstream media, like I just said, effectively controlling the media outlets. Soros and USAID aren't the only ones who use the mainstream media to perpetuate propaganda. All these will end now. That's why they don't like it. And this is our beautiful president here. He did not create the Democrats' hate. He exposed it. He did not create the media's biases. He exposed it. He did not create a corrupt FBI, CIA, and DOJ. No, no, no. He exposed it. He did not create the deep state or DS swamp. No, no, no. He exposed it. He did not create the corruption in both political parties. He exposed it. Yep. And that's why they hate him. And they will do anything to get rid of him. Oh boy, our government. All right, let me get back to my bookmarks and let's do the first video of the night. This is regarding Comey. Now, Comey was indicted for lying in front of Congress, lying under oath. And then this week they tried to get the case dismissed. However, we have big evidence against Comey. Comey is fucked. Oh, yes. He faffoed, folks. So we're going to just watch this brief video and we'll see how many
handwritten notes. And what do they show?
Comey really is, folks. Let's do this.
All right, let's get down to some big bombshell news that just moved a couple of minutes ago over at justthenews.com. We've been following the story of James Comey. He's indicted for lying to Congress, saying he never authorized any of his staff to leak to the media. And late last week, as we told you, he played the victim card. I'm being maliciously prosecuted because Donald Trump hates me. Well, today, the Kash Patel FBI and the lead attorney prosecuting his case, Lindsay Halligan, well, they responded, and they responded with a lot of evidence. What did they respond with? James Comey's own emails and his own handwritten notes. And what do they show? They show that James Comey was clearly aware that his top aide was providing information anonymously to the news media. Not only was he aware of it, he wrote in a private email, "Good job, my friend," actually congratulating him when Dan Richman, one of his top lieutenants, told him what he had just done with the New York Times. Yes, just like the indictment said, the story was about Hillary Clinton's email, so it backs up the government's case that Comey was authorizing leaks to through his staff to reporters concerning a Hillary Clinton case, just like they argued. But they went a little bit further. It turns out that when Kash Patel found those burn bags in that secret room where a whole bunch of FBI evidence was sitting, they found something special, some handwritten notes by James Comey. What do those handwritten notes show? He appeared to be aware in September 2016 that of the U.S. intelligence intercept that Hillary Clinton had approved a plan to hang a fake Russian shingle on Donald Trump's house, campaign house. Now, that's important because the handwritten notes don't match with James Comey's testimony. James Comey told Congress, that doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I ever knew about that. He wrote about it in his hand notes. And finally, one will ask, well, why would James Comey do this? What was the motive? Today's emails that were just released in the court filing give us one other answer. He wrote to Dan Richman, his lieutenant, that he fully expected soon to be working for President-elect Hillary Clinton. That's right from the emails. So he was waiting to work for Hillary Clinton, and he thought that Hillary Clinton would be grateful for the way he did things in handling her email case. That wasn't what the victim card I think James Comey was planning to play. But all of that emails, all of those letters, all those court filings, even the handwritten notes, we just posted them at justthenews.com. You can go check them out today. We'll have more of that breaking news.
Oh, James Comey, not looking good for you. Let's see. Looks like he's going down. Looks like he's going down, James Comey. Now, I already did a reading a long time ago that he was going to be found guilty and he was going to go bye-bye. All right. But let's ask if this is going to be one of the, let's say, dominoes that's going to take down the Clintons too. Because Hillary Clinton was very much a part of this. So let's do a little update on this whole Comey debacle and find out what is the latest. Is Comey going to be found guilty? Is he going to go to jail? Let's get a little update on Comey, the liar. Holy God, in the name of Yeshua, with the latest evidence against Comey, let me see if we have any more about him before I do this reading. Here we go. New evidence found in the Comey case. Proof he lied and was aware of Clinton's campaign to get Trump. The note is in his own handwriting. What a jackass. We'll use this as a little bit of a little backdrop here. All right, and we'll do it that way. Here we go. And we'll just put this as a little backdrop here, the Comey case. All right. Holy God, in the name of Yeshua, is this new evidence that was found in the Comey case, is this going to take down Comey? Is this going to be the nail in the coffin that makes him go to jail or be brought to justice? And anything else in regards to this, the Comey case? Is he going to break down? Is he going to take down anyone else? Anything and everything that will bring clarity and understanding to this question. What say you, Almighty God and Yeshua? And we're gonna. All right, folks. Yep. This is going to be the nail. This is going to be like the domino that kind of starts the whole of them all going down. We got the Five of Pentacles. So this is him walking away. All right. This is him. He's going to jail. All right. He's going to jail. This is him suffering loss, all kinds of loss of money, loss of power. He already had to step down. All right, loss of his job, loss of everything. All right, we got the Chariot card. The Chariot card is a white hat card. All right, so they're going to go after him very, very aggressively, and everything's going to go from dark to light. Okay, this is a major arcana, and this is all about everything that has been hidden from him, the Clintons, everything is coming out into the light. And these are two, okay, this is a major arcana. Okay, we also got the Star card. Now, the Star card is all about bringing things out into the light. Absolutely. Page of Swords, everyone's talking about this, all right? The buzz is, they want to get everyone talking about this. This is one of the big, big dominoes that's going to take down everyone, folks. All right. We also got the World card. World card is a major arcana, and it's, again, it's taking out the deep state in our government. Our government needs to level up. Our government needs to go from completely, okay, we already went from dark to light now that President Trump's there, but there's still a lot of deep state players in our government. We know this. We know there's evil in our government. And this is to weed out the swamp. This is to get rid of everyone in our government that is not working for the light, that's not working for good. This is an overhaul and get rid of all the snakes in the swamp in our government. Absolutely. This is going to lead to public victory, and people are going to be very, very happy. He already stepped down, but Comey's going to be suffering more and more of a loss, and he's going to be held. He's going to be in jail. All right. Very, very soon he's going to be in jail, and he's going to be hung up. All right. So we asked folks, is this going to be the Comey, this new evidence that we proved that he lied, because there's a note written in his handwriting. We asked, what's the update? Is he going to be held accountable? Is he going to be going to jail? Is this the end for him? And is this going to be the peg that's going to bring down the Clintons and everyone else? All right. Then we got many cards. First, we got the Five of Pentacles. All right. He's suffering major loss. He already had a step down, but he's going to suffer a major loss, meaning he's not going to win this case. All right. He's going bye-bye. He's already lost his reputation. He's lost. No one trusts him. All right. This is leaving and suffering a loss. So I believe he is definitely going to go bye-bye. All right. We got the Hangman, which means that he's going to be in jail. He's going to be hung up. All right. Six of Wands is public victory. So I think that this is for the good people of the government. We're going to find out the truth about it. We also got the Star card. The Star card is all about exposure. All right. We also got the Chariot card. Now the Chariot card is going from dark to light. All right. This is all about exposure and the deep state coming out. All right. The Page of Swords. Everyone's talking about this now. So this is everyone's getting eyes around the Clintons, and this is going to be the peg that takes them down. And we got the World card, and the World card is all about taking out the deep state in our government and leveling up. So we have only good players in our government. So yes, folks, this is going to be the peg that brings down the rest of the deep state. The next is going to be the Clintons, and I'm surprised Obama hasn't gone down yet. All right, I'm really surprised about Obama. So folks, there you go. Everyone. We already know that this has all happened. They're all the eyes wide shucking and they're pushing it up. Yep, but it has to be seen by everyone. That's right. It does. It has to be seen by everyone. We all know this stuff, but everything that's going on right now, we already established earlier, this isn't happening for us. This is happening for the normies. We all know what's going on, but this is to wake up the rest of the world. And someone asked about the Epstein file. I've done so many readings on the Epstein files. And basically, the reason why Trump has not put out the Epstein files is because if he released the Epstein files, there'd be half of our government and all of Congress, all right, and so many governments. The reason why he hasn't released the Epstein files yet is because he's still using it as leverage. When he doesn't need to use the files as leverage anymore, and he's also using it to get it out in the open. Okay, for 2 administrations. All right, for 20 years, they've had the Epstein files. They had it through the Obamas, and they had it through both Obama administrations. They've had the Epstein files, and they had the Epstein files all this past one with Weekend at Bernie's, with brain dead Biden, shit his pants Biden. No one did anything with the Epstein files. There was no talk about, no one cared about the Epstein files. There was no talk about it. If Trump was on the Epstein file list, if they had anything against Trump, they would have used it back in 2016 to get him to get rid of him, and he would have never been president. So the Epstein files are going to come out, but unfortunately, they're not going to come out until Trump can't use them as leverage anymore. He's using it as leverage. That's why they haven't come out. I've done so many reads on the Epstein files. So that's what I always got, folks. So that's the deal, folks. All right. That's what I got about the Epstein files. All right. All right. Now here, we're going to do a little bit more about the Epstein files. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to, let's see, right here. This is speaking about the Epstein files. This is from Benny Johnson. Breaking. President Trump announces he will be directing the DOJ and FBI to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan Chase, and many others. Records show these men spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. And this is Trump's from Truth Show. This is Truth Social. This is Trump's post. Now the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures. I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan, Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam with all arrows pointing to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. Here we go. If the Democrats had something on Trump relative to Epstein, they would have indicted him years ago. They didn't because there's nothing. But yet Democrats are still making shit up to distract from their own crime and failure. Yes. Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening now. All right. So there we go with the Epstein files. So let me keep on going with what else we're going to talk about tonight, folks. We all know, here's a little blurb on Nancy Pelosi. Let's do this. We all got last week that the reason why she stepped down is because she's going to soon be in trouble regarding the January 6th committee. And she's older than Methuselah, okay? And we know that there's all kinds of insider trading, but she's going down because of the January 6th, J6. So people asked President Trump recently about Nancy Pelosi, and this is what he had.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
About Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi's retirement.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retired. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country.
And on Dick Cheney.
I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, press.
I love it. She was a very evil woman. I think she was terrible. Thank you very much. You got to love it. You got to love it, folks. Oh my God, folks. You can't make this shit up. You got to love it. All right, let's go back. All right, folks, here is some breaking news, and I'm going to do a read on this to see if this is passed. If this passes, this would be epic. And this, I didn't hear about this until just recently, so we're going to do a little read on this, but let's do this first. This is a new act that they're going to try to pass in Congress, and it sounds fabulous. All right, here we go.
Dream of home ownership and a functional society has collapsed in one generation since the Greatest Generation in World War II, and it's something that we got to fix. Charlie's solution, obviously, is mass deportations and ending H-1B scams, among other things. What's your take on this, Congressman?
Well, first of all, I did listen to virtually all of Byron's interview, and there's a reason that I've endorsed him for governor. We agree. We are great friends. We work together in the House Freedom Caucus. We are aligned philosophically on a lot of these issues. So I agree with much of what he said. But what I would just add is, as you know, in Texas, we've been dealing with the brunt of the illegal immigration influence. But now we're seeing, I think, the ramifications of the H-1B system and how it has been abused, in addition to chain migration and diversity visas, which we've been trying to fix for a long time. And we've been unable to do so. You'll remember back in 2018 with the various bills that were being debated in President Trump's first term. And we were unable to get that resolved as Republicans. And it left it both broken with respect to the illegal immigration system. We didn't get the wall fully built. We didn't get fixes to all of the asylum problems and the abuse of parole and the catch and release. But we also didn't address ending the chain migration and diversity visas. We had language to do it. We just couldn't get the votes. So now what are we dealing with in Texas? We're dealing with a massive Islamism problem. We're dealing with a massive problem of the advancement of Sharia law. We're dealing with a
Yes.
mass community that is growing up that have no desire to assimilate and come here to become American and embrace Western civilization, embrace our Constitution, embrace our values. We've allowed the corporatists to define our entire national policy. And if I were going to go talk about what Charlie's tweet there was about, that summary, which is exceptionally on point, and as he always was when he was starting from faith, family, the foundational principles, and that encapsulates it very well. You should be able to own a home. You should be able to have Americans getting jobs. And the mass deportation is correct. The ending H-1B visas is correct, etc. What I would point out here is that we're dealing with a cultural problem about who we are as Americans. Going back a couple of years ago, I was noting 51 million people in this country are foreign born. That's something like 16 or 17% of the population. Now, that is higher than it's ever been. That is higher than it was in the early 20th century, right? When we had the massive wave coming in. We've got a mass foreign born population, but here's the kicker. It is on the back of, as Byron noted, a failed education system. Not just failing us in terms of skill sets, which is germane to the H-1B question, but failing us in terms of teaching Western civilization, in terms of teaching God, in terms of teaching our values and belief in the Declaration, teaching English, etc. Now where English is a second language, we teach other languages. We don't really teach the Constitution. We don't teach Western civilization. America is evil. Apologize for our existence. We don't really get to then even reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? And now we've got the problem where we've imported masses of people, and the people we're importing are often the ones that are churning babies. Our core, Americans who inherited this country aren't having babies. And now we have a demographics problem and we have a cultural problem. And in Texas, that has resulted in Epic City, a big Islamic center in Houston, 300 mosques across the state and growing, more mosques every day getting put in Texas than any other state in the union. And if we lose Texas, we lose the country. So that was a lot I just dumped on you, but I wanted to go into that different lane beyond just the H-1B tech, business bro problem, because that has led to a massive cultural problem that is something we've got to address. So the answer is yes, end the H-1B system, which is broken. I've got a bill that I'm going to be introducing this week or next. We've had to wait because of the shutdown nonsense. That is a freeze on all immigration. Freeze it until we achieve certain objectives. Reforming things like chain migration and diversity and H-1B, ending H-1B, getting birthright citizenship dealt with, ending, for example, Plyler v. Doe, which says that you.
All right, folks. So I'm going to do a read on this, ending this new bill that's going to end the what is it? H-1B. I'm going to turn this down. All right. So let's announces the PAUSE Act. Okay. So let's do a read on this PAUSE Act. Representative Chip Roy announces the PAUSE Act, a bill that freezes all immigration until H-1B is ended. Chain migration is reformed and birthright citizenship is dealt with. Okay. It says the H-1B system is broken. I've got a bill introducing this week or next that is a freeze on all immigration until we achieve certain objectives. All right. So let's ask Soul Tribe family if this bill is going to, ooh, look at that. Wow. We've got spiritual visitors. That was very, very blurry. Sorry, folks. I needed to unblur myself. All right, folks, here we go. So let's ask if this bill that Representative Chip Roy is going to announce, the PAUSE Act, is it going to pass? And is there going to be a freeze on all immigration until H-1B is ended? Let's ask, yes or no. Holy God, in the name of Yeshua. Holy Spirit, in the name of Yeshua. Is the PAUSE Act, is it going to pass? And will this pass? And will immigration be paused and frozen until the H-1B is ended? Yes or no? What will this pass? And anything else that will bring clarity and understanding to this question. What say you, Almighty God and Yeshua the Christ? All right, folks. Let's see what we got. 5 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, the Fool card moving in a new direction, 4 of Swords, the Devil card, 5 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Temperance, and the Page of Swords. Yep. So we got the Fool card and the recent past. So they definitely want to move in a new direction. Okay. This is definitely something that's going to change. In fact, they've already started this. Okay. Right in the center, we've got the 4 of Swords. So this is a major problem. So I think it is going to pass. However, it's not going to pass easily because we got the 5 of Cups. So the Democrats are going to really, really push back on this, and it's going to pass, but it's going to pass by this. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like because we got the 4 of Swords, so there's something that the Democrats have under their sleeve, and we got the 5 of Cups. So I feel there's going to be some pushback, and there's something that the Democrats have underneath their sleeve it's going to be a little struggle for this to happen. Okay. However, it is going to pass because we got the Devil card. Okay. We know what they're doing with this mass migration. You know what? It's all demonic. All right. We know that the people that are coming in here and the real reason these people are coming in here. So I do think there's going to be mass exposures, and we got the 5 of Wands too. Okay. So, and we got the Knight of Wands. Okay. And the Knight of Wands is all about moving. All right. So I do feel what's going to happen is that, okay, with the Fool card, all right, we are moving in a new direction. This is the recent past in terms of immigration. Okay. However, it's not going to go easy. All right. It is going to be a struggle. I do think it's going to ultimately pass, but with the 4 of Swords, this means that the Democrats have something that's hidden. We think that we have it, that the Republicans think they have it in the bag, but there's something hidden. And the 4 of Swords is information that's hidden. We also got the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. So this is going to be a fight. It's not going to pass right away. Excuse me. And the Democrats have something up their sleeves. Okay. Now, we did get the Knight of Wands. So this is movement. So I do feel that ultimately is going to pass. And we also got the 6 of Pentacles. So that's, I feel like it's going to get a lot of votes. It's going to be like, they're going to be generous with the votes. And because we got the Fool card in the recent past, I'm getting that it's already kind of in the bag. However, with these 5s, there is going to be some struggle. There is going to be some held back. It's going to be held back. There's something that the Democrats are going to have that's up their sleeves, that's hidden, that's going to hold this back. However, with 5s, 5 is fleeting, 5 is passing, 5 is very temporary. So I do feel that ultimately it is going to get passed, and it's because of what's going on with the immigration. Obviously, with the Devil card, we know that there's so many things going on. There's human trafficking. They're bringing people in here because they want them to vote. The Islamic takeover. We know the deal. All right. Now, the last 2 cards was the Temperance and the Page of Swords. So with the Temperance, I'm getting that it is ultimately going to pass because we need more of a temperate immigration. Okay. We can't have everyone and their mother coming here. So I'm getting there. With the temperance is all about moderation, holding back, having to wait. Okay. So because this is the pause act, it is ultimately going to pass because the Temperance card is all about moderation, waiting, pausing, having to be patient. So it is going to pass. And we also got the Page of Swords. So, however, it's not going to pass right away. There is going to be some pushback, and the Democrats, like I said, are going to have something up their sleeve. All right, folks. So we asked, is this Representative Chip Roy, is this pause act going to pass? Is it going to pass the Congress? And we got, yes, it will ultimately pass with the Temperance card because we know what they're really doing with immigration. And look at, these are all major arcana, so these are heavy hitting cards. However, there is going to be some temporary setbacks. The Democrats are going to push back and fight. We got 3-5, so it's not going to come easy. Okay, ultimately, though, because we got the Fool card, which is another major arcana that's a heavy hitting card, ultimately, it's a done deal. All right, they've already started this. They're already moving in a new direction in the recent past. It is going to get enough votes. All right, and there's going to be movement. However, like I said, it's not going to come easy. The Democrats are going to fight. But ultimately, it looks like, folks, that the Pause Act is going to get through. Woohoo! We need that, folks. We need that. All right. We need to get all the people that are in here that are illegal and are already in here, the invaders, out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I also think, too, when everything happens with the money system, everybody that has to go back to their home country to cash in, right? So that's another reason why they're going to go back. Absolutely, folks. All right, let's go through. Let's go through. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. Another one of the Dems. Another reason why the Dems are done. She's so stupid. Jasmine Crock of shit. She's out of a job. She's racist, hates white people, has noted this over and over. She has no place in government representing a USA population that is 65% white. No place in government. How does the congressional member keep their position making continued racist comments? Jasmine Crock of shit, I call her, Democrat, Texas, says Democrats were eyeing the safest white boy in 2028 presidential race. Isn't she lovely? And no one, obviously, she got her ass reamed.
2nd, 2011.
One look about. Let's everyone watch this.
Stupid
how she got reamed
Stupid
on
Democrat.
CNN. You gotta love this.
Stupid Democrat Jasmine Crockett gets called out on CNN for spreading lies.
This is an email from April 2nd, 2011. Republicans were saying that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that? And can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No. I understand,
Okay,
but I'm just saying, like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims. And obviously, she wrote a book. She told her truth.
Stupid Democrat.
You know, it's pretty bad when you get called out on CNN. When you get fact checked on CNN and you're a Democrat, you know it's bad. You know it's bad. This is why the Democrats are done. They are so done. And you want to know why? Because when you have God on your side, you're on a mission from God, you win. And the demons, they lose. He's on a mission from God, and nothing can stop what is coming. Absolutely. 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 All right, folks. What else? Oh, folks. This is a very relaxed night. All right, we're just gonna play. I might do a few more readings, but since we had the 11/11 portal the other day, I've noticed some major upgrades. I was up for most of the night, but folks, unbelievable. If you don't see the difference in the sun, okay, if you notice that the sun used to be very yellow, all right, now it's very, very white. Now look at the sun, how much it's changed. Now, most of the normies will not see this. They don't follow the Schumann resonance. They don't notice this. But look at the sun. This is not normal. So I'm going to share this video.
If you think this is normal, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I can't even look close to the sun. Unbelievable. This is not magnified any. You want to see magnified? There you go. Please. If you think this is normal, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I can't even look close to the sun. Unbelievable. This is not magnified any. You want to see magnified? There you go. Please.
Folks, you see how the sun has changed? Have you guys noticed how the sun has changed? When you were little and you used to color and you used to pick a crayon or a marker to color in the sunlight, it used to be yellow. The sun is now white. The sun used to be yellow and the sunlight used to be yellow. Now, if you were to pick a color to color the sun or the sunlight, it would be white. Absolutely. Yep, it's absolutely. Yep, hippie chick, it is bright white. Folks, what a time to be alive. What a time for ascension, huh? We are ascending, folks. And if people don't believe it, look at the changes. Look at the Schumann resonance. Look at the aurora borealis. People are seeing the northern lights all around the country. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So what else? I'm just looking to see what else we're going to talk about tonight. All right, here we go. We're going to do one more thing about Gavin Newsom and see if I'm just going to do videos for the rest of the night, and then we'll do one thing to see if anything big's going to happen this week. All right, folks. So here we go.
Legal and criminal review. By whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people, in the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive authority and within the confines of the law.
Bam, bam, bam. I love Carolyn. I love Carolyn Levitt. Folks, I've done readings on all these people. That's why I'm doing mostly videos tonight. I've done readings on Gavin Newsom. This is a 2.0, 3.0, maybe even a 5.0. Who knows what version he's going down. Everybody, we're all watching versions of these people. These are not the originals. These are actors or clones. All right. Someone asked about Erica. Erica, whoever's playing Erica, Erica is an actress. That's not the original Erica Kirk. And no, I don't trust Erica Kirk. I think she's evil. I think that that she has ties to Mossad, and I think that that was a captured event, as I said before, and that he's in witness protection. Absolutely. And I think that is an actress that's playing Erica Kirk. Absolutely. And I've read on Erica Kirk as well, and Charlie Kirk. That was a captured event. I do believe that Mossad, I do believe that Israel, the bad deep state in Israel, all right, Mossad had him. They were going to take him out, and so they captured that event. I don't trust his wife. I don't trust her. There's something sus about her. I think it's an actress playing her. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, we used to have sun simulators, but we don't have sun simulators anymore. That's why we have the sun is white. We used to have sun simulators for a long time. I don't know who Sonia from Tree of Knowledge. I have no idea from Sonia from Tree of Knowledge. So no offense, I don't know her, but we don't have simulators anymore. We used to. That's why it was yellow and now it's white, because we're getting more of the real sun now. All right, what else can we see for the rest? Okay, so this is just a little example of what happens when you let immigrants and illegal invaders. Now, this is a scene, okay? Let's see. This is, okay, in the Netherlands, refugees destroy an entire hotel they have had been living in for free because a different tribal Muslim clan was placed there, okay? So this happened in the Netherlands, okay? And this is refugees destroy an entire hotel that they have been living in for free because a different tribal Muslim clan was placed there. So this is what happens. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? That's what happens when you open your borders, let anyone and anyone come in. You give people, you pay for their housing, you give them free money, you give them money, healthcare, and everything. And that's what you get. That's how they treat you. Isn't that lovely, folks? Isn't that lovely? Yes, folks, we are watching a movie. We are watching a movie. This is what's happening for the rest of between now and the end of the year. Everything that we're watching is for the normies. It's not for us, folks. It's not for us. Here we go. Let's watch a little bit of Antifa talking about more violence. Let's watch Antifa. This is an Antifa this is let me share my screen. This is the bullshit that we have to put up with in the United States here. Here we go. One of the Antifa groups designated by the State Department as a foreign terrorist organization is Antifa Ost, aka Hammer Band. They are known for carrying out brutal hammer and melee attacks on unsuspecting victims. They aim to break the victims' bones. This is what U.S. aid was funding. This is the Antifa. This is what the Democrats, this is what we've been funding. Yes, folks, isn't that lovely? That's what our tax dollars have been going to, and that's what our Democrats have been funding. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Well, folks, I'm going to keep on going through, see what else we have to talk about tonight. You know, I've done so many tarot reads. I've done tarot reads on the RV, the QFS, everything. Every single one of this person, every single person in the news, every politician. I keep on getting the same thing over and over again. I will do one last read of the night. I will do a tarot read to find out if we are going to get the $2,000, because everyone's saying that Trump is saying we're going to get dividend checks. Okay, dividends. So I will do a read at the end of the night, but we're going to do a few more videos, folks. And the reason why I'm not doing so many tarot spreads is because we keep on doing the same thing over. I do the same readings over and over again. And the thing is that this is an event-based war. This isn't a time-based war. So, you know, this not is a date-based war, and we're waiting for so many things to happen. And I keep on getting the same readings, and we're still waiting for dates and dates. So I don't want to keep on reading over the same things over and over again. We know that everything's happening. We know that, again, this is not a date-based war. This is an event-based war. We know all these people are going down. We know we're watching a movie. We know we're watching 2.0 and 3.0 versions. We're watching actors. We're watching clones. So the thing is like, why are we getting so worked up? The only thing that we should be getting worked up about is our money, because we all need to pay bills and to make sure that the Epstein files get out, which they will, and that all the exposure comes out and that the children are safe. That's the only thing. All this politics and all this bullshit with, you know, the shutdown and now we're open again. Yes, real people are suffering. I understand. However, we got the answers to the test. We know the ending of this movie. We just don't know exactly, let's say, when it's going to end. Okay, so that's why I'm taking a little easy tonight and just doing more videos and readings, because I've read on all these topics ad nauseum. Okay, and they don't need to be read anymore. All right. So anyways, this woman is phenomenal. We're going to watch her because she says everything that we wish we could, that she basically says what we all want to say. She's phenomenal. So let's watch this woman. Oh my God. Folks, I thought I shared my screen and I didn't even share my screen. I'm sitting here watching something thinking that I shared my screen and I didn't share my screen. I am so sorry. Oh my God almighty. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, folks. I'm sitting here like, oh, I haven't even shared my screen yet. Here we go. Sorry.
Listen, folks, at this point, you can tell that there is some type of psychotic spirit that has taken over our country. Folks are mad that the president is doing what a president is supposed to do. You can tell that we haven't had real leadership because when real leadership comes along, folks don't know how to handle it. A president's job is to protect his country from foreign and domestic threats. A president's job is to make sure the country is profitable. The president's job is to make sure its country's citizens can live in peace and prosperity. That's what our president is doing. But because we haven't had leadership in so long, people don't know how to handle this. I believe this thing really started. I know it started in the 60s when they had already had the plan to destroy America. But Barack Obama, y'all, he did a number on this country. He used the black man's mannerisms to charm the world. He learned the coolness of the black man. I'm telling you, he learned how to speak eloquently. He came with speeches about hope and change and captivated the world. And right in front of our eyes, blindly, we saw this man usher in all kind of abominations. And then Joe and Kamala patted these abominations on the back. Now we got boys really thinking they can be girls and girls thinking they can be boys. Now we have kids using kitty litter in the school because they identify as animals and that's how they use the restroom. We have kids being castrated at an early age by psychotic parents and doctors. And we have crazy people in the schools indoctrinating children. This is where we are. I don't know if we'll ever be able to recover, guys. This is how bad this is. And they are fighting the president on every front as he's trying to fix this country in its psychotic thinking. They are fighting him. Satan is taking over, and the people want to follow Satan. Not all, but a lot. This thing is crazy. I am watching lunatics. Look at the judges. Ketanji Brown does not know what a woman is. Where are we? Look at those liberal judges on that. Listen, y'all, we have to pray. Common sense is gone. And because of this satanic agenda, people are losing their minds. They have a chant that says, we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. This all, I'm telling you, Obama used the black man mannerisms to captivate the world. And he turned the whole country over to Satan when he lit that White House up with the abominations that they use, the colors that they use for an abomination that they took, that is God's covenant. That's how you know this whole thing is against Christianity. It's against God, which Christianity came from the Roman Catholic Church. What it is against Jesus's teachings. Wake up.
I like what she had to say. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm sitting here watching the video thinking that you could see it. And it didn't play. Well, folks, we have kind of a light news for this week. We don't have a lot more. I'm going through my files. And like I said, everything that is in the news, I've already read on ad nauseum. The one thing that everyone wants to know is about the $2,000 dividend checks. So let's do a reading on the $2,000 dividend checks, and then we'll call it a night. All right, here we go. Holy God, in the name of Yeshua, can we get a general reading on the $2,000 dividend checks? Are we going to get them? Is every United States citizen going to get a dividend check? $2,000 or more? Yes or no, and anything else that will bring clarity and understanding to this question. What say you, Almighty God and Yeshua the Christ? I know there's been rumors that some people aren't going to get it, the elderly aren't going to get it, but I asked if everyone's going to get a dividend check because it shouldn't be based on taxes. It's all based on tariffs, and it shouldn't be based on whether people are retired or not. It should be based because it's all about the dividends, about the money coming in for tariffs. So that's why I asked. So, Holy Spirit of God, in the name of Yahshua, is every single United States legal citizen going to get at least $2,000 dividend check for the tariffs very soon? Yes or no? What say you, Almighty God and Yeshua? All right, folks, let's ask. Because we all want some money. We need money. We need to pay our bills. Yes, we do. Page of Wands. Queen of Swords. 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Swords. The Devil. 9 of Swords. We're gonna get a check, but it's gonna be a while. Okay, I got the Hangman. The Hangman is a little bit of a wait. It is coming. Okay, we got the 10 of Pentacles in the past, so it's all set. All right, it's all set, and that's the reason. So they do want to set it out. However, okay. However, all right. Right now we got the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords. All right, so there is truth to what they're saying. Okay, the Queen of Swords is all about speaking truth, and the Page of Wands is about news. All right, news and discovery. Okay, and the reason why they're saying this is because they know that there's many Americans that are struggling. Okay, they can't pay their bills, they can't pay their mortgages, they can't pay our rent. All right, but the reason why I say there is going to be a delay is because I got the 7 of Swords and the Devil card. So I think there's going to be some kind of delay. All right, the money's there, but with the Devil card and the 7 of Swords, it's almost like it's going to be quashed. It's going to be stopped. I feel like the Democrats are going to kibosh this, and the reason why I say this is because we got the Devil card, and the Devil card is El Diablo, evil, and we got the 7 of Swords. There's shyster. There's the 7 of Swords is stealing, shyster. All right, woven sheep's clothing. All right, so I do feel like maybe there's going to be some kind of shenanigans with the deep state, and they're going to stop this at first. All right, it is going to come out in the future because we got the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is all about making progress and plans. All right, and we got the 8 of Pentacles, and there's our money. All right, but it's going to be hung up. Okay, we got the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is all about waiting and pausing and being hung up. All right. However, I do think that the alliance and the good factor in our government, the good elements in our government, they're going to manifest a way to give us our money. All right. Wow. I didn't expect this. All right. So we asked, is every American going to get a $2,000 dividend check for the tariffs? All right. We got in the recent past the 10 of Pentacles. The money's there. All right. And that's the plan. The 10 is completion. And that's every American citizen, legal American citizen. It's all placed and it's in order. That's why they're talking about it. Okay. They're doing this because in the center, people are suffering. They don't have enough money. We're struggling to pay our bills. All right. They are starting to talk about it because this is a soft announcement. All right. There is truth in what President Trump and what the rest of the Republicans are saying. Okay. So there is truth in it. However, the reason why I say there's going to be a delay. All right. It's because we got the hangman. The hangman is all about waiting. It's being hung up. We also got in the near future coming attractions, the devil card. And we also got the 7 of swords. So there is intent to do this, but I feel like there's going to be something, it's going to be kiboshed. Okay. There's something with the Democrats. The devil card is all, and the 7 of swords. This is thievery. This is deceit. So I do think that there's plans to do it, but the Democrats and the deep state is going to do something. All right. I almost feel like they're going to, maybe they're going to steal the funds momentarily. Maybe the checks are going to go out. Maybe they're going to be wire transferred, or, a lot of people paid their taxes through their bank accounts. There's going to be some kind of shenanigans from the deep state. And the money is going to be temporarily unavailable. They're going to temporarily take the money back, the deep state, and it's going to be held back. However, it's not going to be for long. We are going to get our money. We got the 3 of Pentacles. So the alliance and the Republicans and the good part of the Trump administration is going to get the money out. All right, they are. Look at all those pentacles. All right, they have a plan in progress. All right, and they've had a lot of, let's say, everything is laid out. All the foundations are laid out. Everything's there. And at the end, in the very end, they are going to be able to manifest getting this money out. But unfortunately, there's some kind of deep state shenanigan, and the money is going to be temporarily unavailable. All right, folks. Very, very interesting. I wish I got an ace. I wish I got an ace of swords. That means we get it immediately. And I wish we got the 8 of wands, which is an immediate card, but that's not the case. That is not the case at all, folks. Wow, wow, wow. I've already read on med beds. The med beds are coming. The RV's coming. Everything is coming, folks. We're in this holding pattern now. So that's why I said it's kind of a quiet night for news, and I didn't do too many readings because I've read about everything in the news and we know things are coming. So, folks, I'm going to get going. All I can say is that I love you so much. We are almost there. The med beds are coming. The quantum technology, all of the hidden, the light therapy, sound therapy, all of the spiritual technology, all the quantum, the advanced technology for healing, the med beds, the RV, the QFS, the revaluation, the RV, Nasara Jasara, it's all coming. We only have 2 weeks until Thanksgiving, a couple weeks until the end of November. All right, it's the 15th. All right, it's the middle of November. We only have 2 weeks until December 1st. And then we have 1 month for everything to kind of roll out, everything to happen until we start 2026, which is our golden age. So everything is at the crux now. All right. So hang in there. We're almost there. I love you, my Soul Tribe family. I think I'll be taping a show tomorrow with Azria. We're going to be talking about the energies. The energies. There was a big major upgrade with the 1111 portal and 3i Atlas, and how the 1111 portal, how it's helped us ascend, and how manifesting is happening at light speed, and more on the 3i Atlas. So we'll be taping that show tomorrow during the day, and I will be putting that video out tomorrow night. So I'll see you, my Soul Tribe family. And don't forget, there's only, let's see, for my year-end forecast reading, there was only 10 left. I only have 6 left. And once I'm sold out, I'm sold out. And it's not on my website. So if you want to get a year-end forecast reading via email, underneath the description of this show, there's the link. There was originally 20, and now there's only 6 left. So if you're interested, and once I'm sold out, I'm sold out. So if you want to get that in now, because once I'm sold out, I'm done, and I'll probably be sold out by the end of tonight. because I already sold out half overnight. So it won't last the night. So underneath the description of this video, folks, I love you, my Soul Tribe family. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.